I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world, and that's our job.
After Tupac Shakur dominated 90s hip-hop with songs like Trapped, I Get Around, Dear Mama, Hit 'Em Up, and California Love.
Only in Cali where we riot, not rally, so live and die. In LA we wear chucks, not valleys. Yeah, that's right.
After he rubbed shoulders with other A-list celebrities of the time, including Mike Tyson, Chuck D, Rosie Perez, Jada Pinkett Smith, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Suge Knight, and beef with Notorious B.I.G.
You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys, niggas fuck for life.
After dropping 4 studio albums during his lifetime and starring in several Hollywood films, bringing his estate net worth to an estimated $40 million.
Motherfucker! Must have missed that.
After Tupac was shot in a drive-by at the corner of Flamingo Road and Cavell Lane in Las Vegas and died from the wounds on September 13th, 1996 at the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada.
The same crime element that white people are scared of, black people are scared of. The same crime element that white people fear, we fear.
Tupac's celebrity legacy and even his career have continued long after his death. With his murder still unsolved, there have been no shortage of rumors surrounding his demise. Even Tupac's sightings and claims that he is actually still alive today.
The voice in the background that has guided you.
Since his death, Tupac has appeared live in concert as a hologram, released 6 posthumous studio albums, and as many as 14 compilations with singles charting Billboard for 10 years after his death.
Even though we G's, we still visualize places that we can roll in peace, and in my mind's eye, I see this place the players going past. I got a spot for us all, so we can ball at Thugs Mansion.
Tupac has also appeared in films like Bullet, Gridlock, and Gang Related, all of which were released posthumously. And nearly every rapper in the game cites him as an early influence. No one could doubt Tupac's legacy.
Drake is better than Tupac and Biggie. They ain't got shit on Drake.
Well, I won't be listening to any more Lil Yachty. What's going on, guys? My name's Michael McCrudden, documenting the legacy of Tupac Shakur after his untimely death, here for you on After They Were Dead. If you want to know more about Tupac's life and his rise to fame, we've already done a Before They Were Dead video on him. Be sure to check that out. In the meantime, let us know in the comments down below who you want us to document next. And it can be on Before They Were Famous, After They Were Famous, Before They Were Dead, After They Were Dead. Actually, someone better recommend Biggie. I think that would be a good one. Probably shouldn't have said that here.
I don't want to be another I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. Back in the J-Town, I bet they know that Tupac would come up and I'm never going down. And I won't sell my soul. I left wearing silver, came back for gold.
Tupac was born Lashane Parish Crooks on June 16, 1971 in East Harlem, New York. The next year, he was renamed Tupac after the Peruvian revolutionary Tupac Amaru II. He was raised by his mother, Afeni Shakur, who was actually in prison while pregnant with Tupac until 1 month before his birth.
When I was pregnant in jail, I thought I was going to have a baby and the baby would never be with me, but I was acquitted a month and 3 days before Tupac was born. I was real happy.
Speaking of child delivery, my sister just had a baby boy. I'm thrilled for her. Both Tupac parents were active members of the Black Panthers Party during the 60s and the 70s.
He had me feeling like black was the thing to be. And suddenly the ghetto didn't seem so tough. And though we had it rough, we always had enough.
Tupac began his music career working as a backup dancer and roadie for Digital Underground.
Come on! Do the Humpty Hump. Come on, do the Humpty Hump.
It wasn't until the early 90s that his career began to take off as an MC with Digital Underground. His first solo album, Tupacalypse Now, released in 1991, earned critical praise and was certified gold. And every album he released after that seemed to top the last. Strictly 4, My N-I-G-G-A-Z, went platinum, Me Against the World hit #1 on the US charts, and All Eyes on Me sold over 5 million copies in US alone.
Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing hoochie screaming.
During his his life, Tupac became a hip-hop icon, but his impact went beyond music. By the mid-90s, he was also making a name for himself in Hollywood, starring in Juice in 1992, followed by roles in Poetic Justice in 1993, and Above the Rim in 1994. His legal troubles, including his sexual assault case, were widely publicized, as was his recovery from a shooting he survived back in 1994. Beyond that, his beef with Notorious B.I.G. and Bad Boy Records was the most prominent example of the 90s East Coast versus West Coast feud, which played out in the media and in their music.
I'm a self-made millionaire, thug living out of prison, pistols in the air. Biggie, remember when I used to let you sleep on the couch and beg a bitch to let you sleep in the house?
On September 7, 1996, Tupac's life was cut tragically short when he was shot in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. He was taken to the hospital but died from the bullet wound 6 days later.
I was at Warren G's house. In the living room.
I saw Pac 20 minutes before he got shot.
I remember calling a Fanny and saying, "Faye, do I need to get on a plane right now?" She said, "Jada, he's gonna be okay."
Now that's all I'm going to say about Tupac's life in this video. Obviously, there's a whole lot more to cover, and that's why we've already done a Before They Were Dead video on him. So seriously, you should watch that video. I'm very proud of it. Now let's get into the After They Were Dead. Tupac's body was cremated and his ashes were apparently mixed with weed and smoked by members of Outlawz. Although in a 2014 interview, E.G. he claimed that he later found out that the ashes, well, they didn't really belong to Tupac. Either way, you probably shouldn't smoke dead bodies. I know I would. Yeah. Tupac's murder has never been solved, but in an article called Who Killed Tupac Shakur, a Pulitzer Prize winner journalist, Chuck Phillips, he pointed to the Southside Crip members Orlando Anderson as the most likely suspect. Others have pointed the finger at Tupac's rival, Notorious B.I.G., and even Tupac's close business associate, Suge Knight. Now you gotta be asking, why would the head of Death Row Records kill off their biggest star? I don't know. But this guy has a long history of violence and has even hinted that he killed Eazy-E on Jimmy Kimmel. So I wouldn't count him out. I hope he doesn't watch this video.
They get blood from somebody with AIDS,
Yeah.
and then they shoot you with it.
Oh,
so
well, that seems bad.
That's
Yeah.
a slow death.
Yeah.
An easy thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what if Tupac didn't really die at all? For most, the idea that Tupac faked his death is just wishful thinking. But Suge, who was there when Tupac was shot, seems to suggest that's what happened.
Tupac not dead, he was dead. They'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar.
And he's not the only one. In 2015, there were rumors circulating that a retired police officer, David Myers, on his deathbed admitted to helping Tupac fake his own death and was paid $1.5 million to do so. But as it turned out, all those news stories about David Myers and his deathbed confession, they can all be traced back to a website, which is a fake news website. So a lot of people got fooled. And the picture of David Myers, well, that's actually a guy named Walter Williams, a guy from Mississippi, who had absolutely nothing to do with Tupac or his murder case. Others claim that Tupac is still alive, citing these clearly photoshopped photos of Tupac with Rihanna. Or even this selfie of Tupac where his head looks, well, just a little too big. But even if Tupac really is dead, that hasn't stopped him from putting out new music, or even performing. Tupac was the first recording artist in history to appear live in concert while no longer alive, appearing at Coachella as a hologram in 2012.
What the fuck is up, Coachella? Throw up a motherfucking finger. Yeah.
Actually, that technically wasn't really a hologram. The lifelike Tupac image was created by projecting CGI onto glass using a 19th century reflection technique called pepper ghost. Hologram or not, it still looked pretty cool. Since his death, there have been a total of 22 Tupac albums released, if you include compilations, collaborations, and posthumous studio albums. He appeared in 3 Hollywood films and has been portrayed in numerous biopics, including the upcoming film All Eyes on Me, directed by Benny Boom and starring Demetrius Shipp Jr.
They are gonna come after you. Everything you love. They are gonna give you the tools that you need to destroy yourself.
He's been the subject of dozens of documentaries, countless books, street art, a Broadway play, Holler If You Hear Me, and even a statue in Herford, Germany. Tupac remains one of the greatest MCs of all time, a hip-hop icon influencing generations of aspiring rappers. And as for the rest of the story, well, unless he comes back and had us all fooled, that pretty much is the story. Because this is After They Were Dead.
Ship them, don't let them deal with brothers. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other. It's time to fight back, that's what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead.
Thanks for watching this video. I do all sorts of bios on here. I've covered Tupac in the past with his Before They Were Dead video. I've done videos on Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Suge Knight. Be sure to check those out, hit subscribe, and let us know, as always, in the comments down below, who to document next. Also, stick around to the end, because we always leave something funny for you there.
Look, it's Tupac. I told you them homies didn't cap his ass. Oh, this is going on Instagram.